Racial tensions rising in America. On the brink of Jacob's trouble. Be circumspect. I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises to the Most High YAHAWAH and His only begotten Son YAHAWASHI. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone, taught me this truth through the Spirit. Single honors to the elect. Peace and bless to the 1/3, and to the confusion faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Micah chapter 2 verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And this video is towards the so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans, because, you know, according to biblical history, you know, we are the Hebrew Israelites. There's many artifacts, many cliches that correlate with the Bible, with the people that was part of the diaspora, transatlantic slave trade. And now we're at the end of this kingdom, Esau's kingdom, so to say, and their hatred is starting to grow horns, meaning that you can see that these people are the devil. They can care less, because, you know, Esau's not going to go down without a fight. He's a very sore loser, you know. Going back to Cain and Abel, and that's a video I got to do about the serpent, the devil, and who is Edom, right? But nonetheless, though, quick one. Edomite woman suspected of killing Jake boyfriend will not face charges in Georgia. And this story goes back to a Jake who hated his own people, said that he would rather date a dog than date a Judahite woman, things of that nature, whatever. And he also had 2 kids from the woman. I did a video on it. You can check it out on my page. When I drank it one night, she came home, was cleaning her gun, then said by accident she shot him. Then changed up her statement and said that she had locked herself into the bathroom after they got into an argument. He broke in, then she shot him in self-defense. And that all that goes back to is I'm white and I say so. That's that. I learned that a lot from Tariq the Shia Esau. There's crimes against us, so they'll say we have high crime rates. That's because they always arrest us, but we don't get acquitted. We don't get convicted, we get acquitted a lot. So that's what they'll use for that statistic. But Esau blatantly commits crimes and get off. Like Daniel Penny got off. George Zimmer got off. They trying to get Chauvin out, you know. I mean, how many incidents of Jake being shot literally on live TV during Obama's administration and nothing happened to those officers, right? That's why this is a place that will destroy you. It's polluted, man. It was never created for you to have freedom or to be integrated at any point during the time we was building this society, okay? Just gonna segue over to the next one. Salakia. This was another video. White dude, Edomite dude, effed around and found out beating a strip for using the N-word. Cops call it a hate crime. Now Esau goes inside of a bar full of Jakes, going there slinging the N-word. Jake like, yo, you know where you at? You know where you at? Long story short, boom, Jakes jumped on them, both hands and feet. Then they started beating them with sticks and poles, and they stripped them naked. And the Edomites had the audacity to say it's a hate crime, despite the fact this mother effer used a racial epithet in a predominantly Jake or black folk gathering establishment, right? So this is what I'm talking about. These racial tensions are increasing, man. Okay. An article from Atlanta Black Star. I got like 3 articles from Atlanta Black Star. A whole lot of bigotry. Black or Israelite owners at East Atlanta restaurants say they're being pushed out despite agreeing to 75% rent hike. Claim new landlords keep moving the goalposts. And I heard this also happened to an all black or Israelite gun shop establishment in California. They've been there for years, all black, and they sell Jakes to, and they sell guns to Jakes to anybody really, but you know, it's a place that we can go to and get approved. You know, it's places that you go and they'll prolong Jake's approval to get the gun, even though he ain't got a felony and stuff like that. They have the right to not give you service. So they really don't want a lot of Jakes to have weapons. And they make them move. And it's kind of like the same thing they're doing here. A lot of gentrification is going on. They'll either raise the price of the rent or they'll tell you they're not renewing the lease. I mean, it's always been that way. It goes back to, I just read Micah 2 and 10, right? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with its sure destruction. It says, I'm in that book, Micah. Let me go there, because that's another precept that goes back to they have the power in their hand. See, Esau used to use Esau will always get that shit out of here. Esau will always use the whip, the crack. Well, that's what they really call him the cracker for, not because of saltine crackers, because of the crack of the whip. That used to be their force of power, as discipline. Now they use the stroke of the pen, but either writing down your infraction or by either not writing down anything, meaning that not renewing your lease. So this is Micah chapter 2. And man, the children have been active today. Oh, it's the weekend. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. So yes, they can approve or disapprove, right? Because why? It's in the power of their hand. Here goes another one. It's an injustice. Black or Israelite Oregon firefighter convicted by all white jury for defending himself against an alleged racist attacker who still roams free. He's a fire, man. And it's crazy. It says last summer, a black wildlands firefighter in Oregon was sentenced to nearly 6 years in jail for defending himself against what he claimed was a racist attack. Despite his assailant throwing the first punch, allegedly calling him the N-word, and having illicit drugs in his system, Brian Hakeem Simpson remains locked up in Snake River Correctional Facility, found guilty of second-degree assault by an all-white jury. And he's in Oregon. Way off from where we really reside at, right? In the West and the Midwest. There's a lot of Edomites that live out there in the Midwest, It goes back to after we were so-called free from slavery in 1863. You also had the Freedmen Act, where the descendants of slaves would become freedmen, and we were supposed to receive 40 acres and a mule. What these devils did, they allowed the Edomite, the Caucasian immigrants, not slaves. We were slaves. They were immigrants. Allowed them to come in and gave them millions of dollars in acres and land, also known as the Homestead Act. Don't ever let them tell you that we did nothing. We are nothing. They always economically deprive us, which results in more poverty, which can result in more crime. But then they'll lay the stumbling block before their brother, like the Lord said. And then the accuser of our brethren will say, look, Lord, look what they doing. That's Esau. Tell you that you can eat honey baked ham on a pagan holiday known as Christmas, but then tell the Lord, look at what we doing. That's the same individual that killed his brother because he didn't give the proper sacrifice and said, am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, this is the same man we going up against, who will lie to the Most High or even sell his birthright. But yep, this is that. Why didn't I say so? Michigan, 62-year-old man who attacked black mail carrier and called her smelly N-word after she put Kamala Harris flyers in mailbox, sentenced for racist assault. You know what? I tell you, man, Esau is a fucking coward. They always want to go and pick on the weak, or they get drunk and want to come and have these racial slurs. Why you want to attack the woman? That a mail carrier, someone on their job. See, Esau's a coward. See what happened when Esau went inside that bar, right? Got stomped the fuck out. I'm there now. There was also, see, this is what Esau do. Esau gather up in the U-Haul or gather up unannounced, and they'll show up to these rallies, and they'll show up in big numbers. But when they do go online and say they're gonna have a rally, that shit gets shut down. I just did a video a couple of days ago of in Kentucky. You seen Jake spray painting BLM all on the Confederate flag, and he turned the stands over and everything like that. If you listen to Jake at the end, Jake said, "And if I see it on Facebook again, I'll be right back out here," something to that extent. See, Esau know, man, not to go out there and say they finna have a White Lives Matter protest. Listen, even their own people will be against it. Why? Because you will have to admit that yes, hatred and racism still exists in America. Don't get it twisted. Even them lily white alabaster powdered donut eating Edomites will be like, this is not right. Like, there was Edomite out there that had a shirt on that said, I can't breathe. And he was like, I'm with you guys. But he could turn on cold real quick because he got the complexion for the protection. So yeah, it makes them look bad. So yeah, they'll be all, oh man, this is not right, brother. This is not good. Let the race wars break out. What side you think they're gonna be on? It's no different than them Edomite women, them white women during the times of civil rights. Oh yeah, that was walking along with Jay, fists in the air, getting that soul pole, all of that. One thing they'll do, they'll tolerate you, but they ain't gonna accept you. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they'll linger around with Jake, for that essence, that spiritual essence, but sooner or later they'll always resort back to their whiteness. Yeah. But this is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15 through 17. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Yes, they are. We're living in ill times right now. Walk circumspectly mean make sure your head is on the damn swivel. Be aware of your surroundings. Know where you're entering at. Know who you're talking to. Be careful what you say to certain people. There's 8 billion people in this world. So that means there's more people in this world that don't have it. And for you to have a positive outcome in this world, because 9 times out of 10, they don't know you can care less. Trust me, somebody lost their loved one today and they're crying. But me, I'm not crying. Why? Because I don't know. And I could care less. And that's just not to be inhumane, but how does it affect me? That's the world we're living in. Dog eat dog world. Everyone for themselves. You got to look out. Can two walk together? Let's say they be in agreed. So who are you really walking with in this life if y'all don't agree on the sayings of YAHAWASHI or the Bible? Forget them football teams. Forget your favorite genre of music and your favorite color and all that. Like, spiritually, can you really walk with this person in the last days? You got to be thinking like that. And read again, Ephesians 5, 15 through 17. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Y'all remember, it really goes back to Esau losing. Remember, it says Jacob is the end of the world. I'm sorry, Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Now, I brought this one out too as well, because even the women I have spazzing out. Look at this disgusting excuse of a human being. Family of a postal worker stabbed to death at NYC Deli condemns plea bargain, grant and defended 15 years in prison. I don't even know who this woman is to him. That I seen that a man was stabbed to death by a woman. Even the women out here are masculine and crazy. Okay? Keep your head on a swivel. And another thing to also keep in mind, Esau is at the bottom. Don't ever let them lie to you and make you feel less than yourself or believe in the lie which they think is the truth. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Some statistics. Check this out. White deaths exceed births in a majority of U.S. states. See, they're losing, and they're losing bad. In 2016, more non-Hispanic whites died than were born in 26 states. More than at any time in U.S. history. And that's more than 25, y'all. So, and let's take this out. In over half of the states, there are more Edomites dying than being born. That means your birth rate's at 0. Okay, because it's in the negative. Some 179 million residents, or roughly 56% of the U.S. population, lived in these 26 states. In contrast, non-Hispanic white Edomites, hereafter referred to as white, deaths exceeded births in just 4 states in 2004 and 17 as recently as 2014. Damn, but 2016 it said it was in 20. Damn, so within a 2-year period from 2014 to 2016, it went from 17 states to 26. And you really want to know what that is? Also, hell, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. They could still be passing away or unaliving themselves or dying at the same rate. But what's happened is that a lot of their women are not giving birth to their seed. They're giving birth to a lot of Israelite men's seed. A lot of these single moms you see out here, man, these women got 10 babies. Even the Edomite woman who I opened up with in this article, she got 10 babies from the father of her children who she took out. She unallowed the father. Now these are 2 Israelite children because their father has the seed. I want to say here Israelite. He could be a heathen, but he acting and talking, but nonetheless. Now they got to be racing in society where racially their mother got off because of her race, and now they don't have a father, and she got to raise them in this lily white society. She'll be the same one line talking about, God loves everyone. Look, I have mixed kids, even though I murdered their father. I have mixed kids, and it's just crazy, man. But nonetheless, though, yeah, they losing it, and this is why you seeing them getting all upset and mad. Man, I heard the Edomite say, we're being oppressed. Oh, you're just depressed. You're using the wrong press. You're being depressed. You're the oppressor. And also this as well. The racial breakdown of SNAP recipients is as follows. White or Edomite individuals account for the largest percentage, around 37%, followed by black or Israelite individuals, 26%, Hispanic Israelites too, and Asians, more white Ammonites. So they're receiving the most SNAP benefits, and they also have a negative birth rate. And I forgot, there's a county per capita where there's like over 98% of the population in a county is Edomite, and almost like 90-something% of them are receiving some type of welfare. The welfare county is predominantly Edomite people, but they always put us as the mascot, the poster child for benefits or welfare, whatever. Man, these devils are just out there, man, and they're losing bad. But I'm gonna close out with this. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 through 11. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So Esau's on the prowl right now. They're just looking for somebody to get to hop on. Like I saw a video the brother Lawat sent me. Jake got jumped on by some bikers in the restaurant. But if you listen to it, they telling him that you need to leave, you need to go. What the scripture say? Agree with thy adversary. But Jake act like he didn't want to leave. So then eventually he's like, all right, I'm for the leave. But then one dude said, you got to pay your tab before you go. I guess Jake didn't want to pay the tab. So they jumped on him. Rightfully so. He held his own for a little bit, but then once you get to the ground, you got like 4 dudes on you, man. Come on. What you expect to eat hot dogs and drink beer all day? Heavy gut dudes. But that's a prime example too, that they just looking for a reason to fight. They're looking for a reason to jump on somebody. They're frustrated. All Esau know is this lies, deceit, deception, and if that don't work, violence. That's all they know. You can't take that from them. They go crazy. Anyhow, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 9. Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So be circumspect, y'all, all in the world. Verse 10, but the God of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory by Mashiach YAHAWASHI, after that ye have suffered a while, we will suffer, but only a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. To him we glory in dominion forever and ever. Amen. So Esau's losing. So remember, the Lord is a man of balance. So if Esau's losing, we got to be winning. And you know how we win it? It's spiritually. Because we know Babylon is falling. So with that being said, I truly pray y'all was edifying, fed, stay in the spirit, don't fear it, just endure it. Ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Sha'Allah, Mufla Babal, Shalom.